Oh, this is going to be quick. This is going to be really easy.
I'm not that nervous. I'm not that nervous.
This is going to be really easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Joined here with men's lacrosse head coach Troy Moyer, Shaden Shields, JJ Brummett. Coach, coming off a commanding 22-10 victory over Dominican this past weekend, kind of talk what that meant for the team and kind of the thoughts after that.
Yeah, I thought it was a good win. Obviously, the score for itself, but even more than that, being able to get everybody in the game. Some of our guys that haven't had so much time in the big games, we're able to get out there for some solid minutes and actually make it worthwhile for them. So I think it was just exciting to see kind of everybody get some action, guys scoring their first goal of their career, things of that sort. So, our starters are guys that play a whole lot of minutes. They got the job started, and then everybody else kind of followed suit after that. So a nice win, nice home weekend. Our fans got to see everybody. So it's all around good time.
And then with the win, you also secured the Rocky Mountain division of the Peach Bowl Conference, hosting the tournament out here. Kind of how big is that for the team to be also right back on a chuff out there with all your fans and the home crowd, which is such a big aspect of the games here?
Yeah, I think it's something that we're definitely thankful for. We only get so many home games every year, as you guys know. And so anytime we can secure hosting rights and kind of make sure that we give ourselves a chance at least one more guaranteed game, and hopefully two if we make it to the championship, I think that's, something beneficial for our program. I won't speak for these guys, but I know for myself, it does get long spending time on the road, different hotels, different pillows, things that you wouldn't estimate would really shake things up. But when it all is said and done, you're just thankful to be back in your own bed. I get to spend more time with my dog. So it's really helpful for me to kind of make sure we're back home. And I would imagine these guys would feel the same.
Yeah, if you two want to speak on that, I mean, another guaranteed home game, how important is that? And I'm sure you guys love being out here instead of on the road game after game after game. Kind of how nice is that to you guys?
I think it's pretty huge.
Use the mic, please.
I think it's pretty huge. I mean, like when you go out to those away games, especially like in Florida, they got their entire squad with them. Like they got all their fans out there. And then when we come here, it's the same thing here. So we get the home advantage, and it's just huge.
After doing this for like 4 years, or this is my 4th year doing it, it feels like it's kind of gotten like really tedious, and coming home and just being able to like spend time with like my roommates that aren't on the team, or just like sleep in the same bed that I always sleep in. It's just such a big deal, I think. And usually like the hotels and everything gets like a long process, like the bus rides, the plane rides. It's sleeping on the Denver airport anyway. It's a hard process, and I think it's really good that we're back at home.
Then both of you kind of on different ends of the side on the field. I mean, your offense, you're attacking. He's one of the goalkeepers. Kind of talk about your different roles that you have. I mean, you kind of led a group, like you said, so many guys scored this weekend. So many guys are becoming offensively involved. How do you kind of take that upon yourself to be a senior leader for some of those guys, JJ?
I think especially in games like the Dominican game, I feel that it's and like the starter's duty to kind of give the younger guys a better chance and a more playing time, especially in those games, because realistically, the only way you're going to be able to like succeed at when they start starting and everything is to have that experience, and experience is such an important thing. So I think getting those guys out there is such a big deal, I think.
And then for you, Shaden, I mean, you're a transfer goalie, but you've played every game, been so impactful with this team. How have you taken it to kind of bolster the defense of this team and especially hold it down the net?
I think it's pretty important. Just like we all need to be communicating and stuff like that. Like if one of us slips up, we're all going to slip up, and everything's just going to go like it's just not going to go the way we want it. And so my role in there is just to keep everyone calm, I feel like, and just like keep the game moving, and just next play. Like if one thing happens, we just need to flip it around and just keep going.
And question for you, Coach. You just had another Player of the Week honor with Casados. Kind of talk about, I mean, you had so many different honors this year. I think that was 5 or 6 now at this point. And every single time it's almost been someone new. Talk about the impact that so many guys are having on either side of the ball. I mean, it's always happening.
Yeah, I was pretty proud and excited for Cam. I know he's kind of a guy who's been in the shadows a little bit, on the back burner with, guys like Mike and Canyon being a little bit older than him and having some more experience. And so Canyon's kind of been dealing with a little bit of injury, and we wanted Mike to get some rest. And so we gave Canyon the opportunity to have full go. And so I'm not surprised by any means that he was as successful as he was. It's just exciting for him to actually go out there and prove it to himself. And JJ mentioned kind of that opportunity, the experience on the field. I think that's going to pay dividends, for Cam this year and for in the future. He's now gotten that opportunity to kind of be the head guy, the starting face-off guy, and take the bulk of the reps. And then, obviously in the Dominican game to back up Mike again. So just to go out there with the confidence of like, yeah, I can play at this level, I can do it, and be extremely successful at it. It was awesome to see. And I think there's a lot of other examples of that. As you mentioned, we've had kind of a rotating cast of characters getting those awards. It just shows that, we're deep. I've said this before, it's never a rebuild, it's a reload. And so we've got guys that are kind of right behind them that are always able to step up in the big moments.
And then looking forward, you face Westminster this weekend, and then you host Dominican again. Kind of what's the focus going forward, the mentality to get prepared for, not look past the Westminster game, but get ready for next week as well?
Yeah, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there. We've made a point this season of just trying to focus one game at a time. And so with the Westminster game being the next one up, that also being, arguably our fiercest in-conference rival, it's easy to stay focused for this one. It's another home game. It's senior day. So, a lot of things happening where I don't think there's any motivation really needed for the moment. It's just making sure that we get out there and stick to our principles and focus on the little details, make sure we walk away with another win. And we'll get to Dominican next week after this weekend's over and start to prepare for them again. The benefit of kind of being in a smaller conference is we've seen them a handful of times already. I know that they'll come prepared and give us a different look, and we need to be able to handle that and do the same. But we'll get to that step when we get there.
Not to go too far in the future again, but Coach, obviously this is the first year this program's had the opportunity for an AQ at the end of the season. Do you carry a different level of pressure into this last week into the postseason with that AQ kind of dangling on a string, or how does this year feel different from past seasons?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting question. I don't know that it's any more pressure than it has been, just because of where we've been at in the past. We've kind of always had that same amount of pressure. It's do or die. We get into conference and you pretty much know you have to win every single game in order to give yourself an opportunity, hopefully at the NCAA. Now that is kind of that carrot, that light at the end of the tunnel. But the end result or the job is still kind of the same. We still have to win every single game we play. So I don't know that there's more pressure to it. There's more on the line, I guess you could say. I think for us, it's just an exciting opportunity to have. It's not any more or less pressure. It's pretty much exactly the same as it's been with an added opportunity.
And then this weekend, of course, you said being senior weekend. I mean, JJ, you're a senior. You have a bunch of seniors in this team. Kind of talk about what this program's meant to you. You can speak on that as well, what this program's meant to you, and being able to wear the maroon and gold for 4 years.
It's honestly meant a whole lot. I came in here as a freshman, and I had someone had like a support system through my brother that went here. So it was kind of tough when he left to kind of like find my own way, I would think. And honestly, I feel like I found that pretty well. And so I think it's gone pretty well, and I'm pretty proud to, represent CMU and everything that it stands for. So.
And you could speak on the other seniors that are not here.
Yeah, so we've got 6 guys that'll be recognized this weekend. One of the guys is technically a redshirt junior, but he wanted to kind of get recognized as a senior with his class academically. And so the class started a whole lot bigger than that. And, things happen here or there. Guys decide to step away from the team. We've still got a handful of the guys at the school here they're definitely going to be in the crowd supporting these fools. But it's just awesome to see that 6 guys stick around. I think they've been a really tight-knit group. You can see how they interact with each other at practice. They bicker like they're brothers. And that just comes with the amount of time that they've spent with each other. It's also funny that all 6 guys, JJ mentioned coming in as a freshman, not that they were all day one starters or earned super big minutes, but they all had an impact on the team since they were freshmen. And so once this class is gone, they'll definitely be missed. I think they've brought a certain flair, a certain energy, definitely an essence of leadership to the team. And they've given the younger guys something to look up to. So this weekend will be pretty special, getting to honor those guys and make sure that we send them out hopefully on the right foot.
All right, best question of the week. This week's going to be rapid fire, so it'll be a this or that. So just be about 5 questions. So first one is guacamole or salsa?
Salsa.
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 First time that one. Night or morning?
Morning.
Night.
Night.
Hot coffee or iced coffee?
Neither.
Iced coffee.
Hot coffee.
Phone calls or texting?
Texting.
Phone calls.
It depends, but I would say texting.
TV or movies?
Movies.
Movies.
TV.
And then the last one to get you thinking, would you rather see in the future or change the past?
See in the future.
Change the past.
See in the future.
Okay. So we got some thinking on that one, but all right, thank you and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.